How's it going, everybody? This is Legacy with Team Evolution Rush of Ikorr, and today we are doing a deck profile on one of my favorite avatars, Hunahpu Wellspring. This deck, if you haven't been following the game, is definitely regarded as one of the best decks, if not the best deck in the game, just because it's very fast, it's very aggressive, it has one of the best avatar and rush abilities so far in the game. And yeah, it's super fun to play. So I'm going to be going over my take on the deck, my profile on the deck, so you can kind of see what you think. I always love comments and want to hear everyone's thoughts on the deck. But if you're looking for a really powerful competitive deck that you could argue is tier 1, this would be one to look at. Okay. Another thing, some of the other videos that are going to be coming out soon are some more deck profiles, as well as some gameplay videos that we are finally shooting. And on top of that, I got a really spicy deck profile coming out here pretty soon that my teammate and I have been working on, that is actually able to go toe-to-toe with even this deck. So I'm excited for that. And I'm also going to be doing some videos here soon where we're going to be doing some card reviews on the set 2 cards, because there's a lot of really good set 2 cards to talk about, and I'm excited for that. So keep updated for that. With that being said, let's get into the profile. Again, this is simply my take on the deck. Purely my opinion on how I've enjoyed playing it and been testing it, but so far had a lot of success with testing with this particular deck. So let's go over the avatar real quick. It's red and yellow, which is Prophecy and Ambition. I believe it's Ambition. You pay 2 to return a Maya champion from your graveyard to your hand, which is insane, because that basically is saying pay 2 to draw a card, but you get to pick the card you want to draw as long as it's a Maya. Then your Rush 3 ability is where this card really takes off. Search your hand or deck or graveyard for champions named Hunahpu and Jablanki. I think that's how you say that. Jablanki. Summon one and add the other to your hand. And those 2 cards are both very powerful with each other, but they also, you can kind of summon the one that you think is going to be best for the situation. And they're also Mayas, so you can also recur them with this card's avatar ability. So it's insane. All right, starting off, we have 2 Stargazers. This card is pretty standard for any yellow deck at this point. I think it's one of the best cards in the game. It's pretty insane. But we have Foresight on one of them, and we have Hermes Lyre on the other. The reason we have Hermes Lyre on one is because paying 0 to pump all of your raid up is huge, and there's a couple combo lines that you can kind of do to just manipulate that, and since it's a Maya, like, why not? And then we have Foresight on the other, just because it's a good way to just kind of get a 0, take a peek, get some insight, get some information. And yeah, pretty simple, straightforward. I don't really need to explain Stargazer very much. Then we have 2 Determined Contenders, our good Maya 1-drop. We have 2 really powerful infusions on this one. We have Ruler's Decree, which is other champions you control with the same loyalty as this champion do +1 raid. And we have a ton of Mayas, so that's pretty standard. And we have Eye of Ra, which is to stun it and then void a target champion influence cost X or less. So 2 very good infusions on cheap cards to just make sure that we can take advantage of them when we need to. And like, what's super insane about the about Hunahpu's ability is, like, cards like this that you can just use over and over and over because you can always recur it is so broken, which is why this avatar is so insane. We have 2 Fierce Spearmen with the Find Weapon to give it +1 attack. It's got Quick Strike, so making it a 3/2 for 1 that can Quick Strike is pretty good. You can take down a lot of cards with that extra attack, so I felt like that was a good one to put on it, and it's been great. It's definitely an early board threat. We have 2 Wheat Farmers with the other Foresight, and then we have this champion cannot be attacked as long as you control Maya in the Ahu's Headdress. Again, great. You get a bunch of cards out as long as one of them's a Maya, which it always will be. This card just can't be attacked, so it's really annoying to deal with. Pretty standard. So those are all our cheap cards. Oh, we do have one more cheap card, sorry. We have 1 Industrious Farmer with the Tzolk'in tag. So when you summon it, if your allies control 2 or more Maya champions, refresh 2 influence. So again, this is just another cheap way to continue to play more cards, to make your board wider and make it more difficult for your opponent to shut you down, and you just, this deck just goes wide. This is what it does. So then we have 2 Servant of the Suns with the Sumptuous Cacao. I think this one's also at this point pretty known. Sumptuous Cacao is definitely like one of the best infusions in the game. A 2/3/4 that rage for 2 on a Maya is pretty gross, so pretty good. 2 Claw Strike Warrior with the leadership tag, so attack another target allied champion gets +2 attack until the end of his turn. This is good for just bumping your cheap cards to take out other champions. It's also really good with the Jaguar Warrior and the Jaguar Champion. That way you can just draw cards, you can double attack with the Warrior, and just keep doing what you're trying to do, which is win the game. So I think it's just a good standard card, or good standard infusion to put on that card. Then we have the Jaguar Priest with the Roaring Aegis. This card's also nuts. And then I think this is where, like, so this is where with the Stargazer, why we have the Hermes Lyre on this, right? So in a perfect world, let's say that we opened, where is it? I literally just had, I got my little stack. Let's say that, you know, we had these 4 cards in our opening hand. On turn 1, are not on the play, on the draw, okay? And you basically, you go Stargazer, you gain your 1 influence, then you play Priest, sacking this, but of course Hermes Lyre has already triggered, right? Then you pay your hero power, your avatar power for 0 to get the Stargazer back. We play it again, right? Now everything's pumped by 2. Then we have the Industrious Farmer that comes down, refreshes 2 more influence, and then we play a 2-drop or another 1-drop or whatever at that point. And yeah, this right here is 12, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So that's literally your first turn on the draw if you were to open this perfectly. Odds of that happening are small, but my point is you can abuse this and abuse this, and that's kind of what we're trying to do, is just abuse these specific ones. So it's just insane. It's just really good. You're just always putting so much pressure on the opponent. And even if they deal with that, 1 or 2 of them, you know, if you end up with at least 3, you can just have access to your rush ability as early as turn 2. So there's always that. We play the Funerary Priest with Mystic Ankh, so it's a 1/5. Am I saying that right? Mystic Ankh. I think I'm saying that right. But champion is +2 health, so they're 2 1/5s. Every time something of yours dies, you get a draw. Pretty good. This just keeps the deck moving, right? Because there are moments as an aggro deck where you just kind of spit your hand out. So if you happen to get this out, it's insane. This is another example of the play I just did. Like if you ended with Funerary Priest even over this, right? This card's still going to raid for 3, and then you have 3 other cards. So whatever your opponent deals with, you're going to draw cards or gain Ikorr, one of the 2. So I just felt like it was a really good card to just help you maintain your hand and just keep the game moving. Then we have 2 Swift Messengers. Again, kind of a staple in most decks, I would say. Draw 2 cards. We got Scroll of Curses on one of them. That way you can stun something, and then it loses its abilities and can't be retreated. And then we have the Kusanagi. That way you get to draw an extra card and, again, stun it. So just kind of some good control draw cards. Mostly from the infusions. 2 Gunner. I think this card is, like, fine. You know, there's definitely other cards that I guess you could play. These were kind of like the last 2 slots that I put in there, but I was like, you know, we stuck Hamayumi on this. When you summon it, you get to deal 1 damage, or you get to just blow up a demon, and then when it raids, you get to deal another damage. So even though it's Japanese and kind of out of the theme of the deck, this card comes down on turn 3. It's going to deal 2 damage while raiding for 2, basically. It's pretty good. It's been good, actually. The damage is nice to have. 2 Jaguar Warrior with Tactician, so when it attacks, target allied champion gets +1 raid until the end of the turn. There are other cards that you can play on this, for sure. There's the one that also gives something +1 attack, I believe. Oh, that's the one that's on the the Quick Strike Warrior, duh. And then there's also, if you're playing against if you're playing against location decks, like for instance, when I'm playing against my buddy that's playing the location decks, like you can kind of slot in the Infiltration that bounces locations. That way you can get rid of like pyramids or something. So you could do quirky stuff like that, which in a more of a tournament setting, I would probably consider doing that. But this is nice, right? Because if it comes down, you kill something, and it's like, okay, something get +1 raid, then it can attack again. Now it gets +2 raid. Like, just more raid, more raid, more raid. How are we going to win the game, and how fast are we going to win the game? 2 Inspired Bards, or Bards, whatever, with experience and summon, everything gets +1. So again, you drop this. This is at 3 raid, and then everything else gets more raid, so, or more Ikorr. And then 2 Jaguar Champions with Rubber Ball. When this champion strikes a champion and survives, draws a card. Pretty good. Pretty, I don't want to say standard, but that's what I like on it. Again, there are other cards that you can put on this. You could put the one that where it can't be attacked by stuff that's less than it. You could even stick the +1 raid on it. I mean, there's a bunch of things you can do, but I like the Rubber Ball on this guy. Because usually when he comes down, he's going to get rid of something, so it's good draw power. And that's everything with infusions, so pretty straightforward. Everything that's non-infusions, We play one Thoth. This is another tech card that my teammate and I thought would be pretty good, just because when you play this, it's got a good enough body to get you to Ikorr, but it's also filling up your graveyard a little bit to use the Hunahpu's ability to get something back, right? So I think it's really cool. And then obviously your avatar can get stuff back out of the grave, so it doesn't really matter if you mill that stuff, but it's always going to replace itself, fill your grave up a little bit, and I just feel like it's a good tech. And yeah, it's good when you have it. It's not bad. One Ewok, again, I think this card is kind of insane sometimes. It's not good all the time, but if you got a wide enough board, this card is really annoying. And yeah, I won some good games with that card. And then we have the Hunahpu and his brother. You have to have these if you want to play the deck. Pretty straightforward. So that's everything for the champions. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, you're obviously not doing anything overly techy. We're really just relying on those infusions with those lower end cards, and we're just trying to win the game as fast as we possibly can. That's what you're trying to do, just win the game, put insane amount of pressure on your opponent. We're not trying to really do a lot of combos. We're not really trying to do anything overly flashy. There's stuff you can do when you have certain cards, obviously, like the Stargazer and the combo that I showed you. But I mean, other than that, we're trying to just win the game as quickly as we can. Then we have one Chichen Itza. This card's great. I mean, it's free. Put a card back and draw a card every turn, right? It's just, again, keeping the hand moving, the game moving. This card's fantastic. I really, really like this card. I need to get a Shatter Foil version of it, or a Fracture Foil version of it would be nice. For the spells, we're playing 2 Oracular Visions. Just, again, draw power, get the card you want, get the card you're looking for. It's pretty straightforward. 2 Burnt Incense Ritual. This card costs 2 to get any card out of your grave, and then you get a discount if you play it. I mean, absolutely. 2 Sacred Games. It is, in most cases, removal and a draw, so it's pretty good. And then the last 2 cards are, of course, 2 Heat Lightnings, because it's Red's best removal card. So that is it. That is our Hunahpu deck profile. Again, it is pretty straightforward, but this particular build, while we've been testing, has a very, 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 very high win ratio. Again, there's only one other deck that we have built right now that can actually contend with it, because it has the ability to like continuously remove everything off the board. And then even when I put a whole bunch of stuff out again, it still removes everything. But again, that's a spicy deck that we'll go over here soon that we'll show you guys. But that's it. That's my Hunahpu deck profile. This is one of my favorite avatars, one of my favorite decks. If you have a Shatter or Fracture Foil one of these, let me know. I would love to get it off of you. Other than that, like, subscribe. I look forward to any conversation about the deck. And until next time, bye guys.